everyone, and welcome to an edition of the Interstellar Modeler. This is now part 2 of the Space 1999 Eagle build. So what I'm still doing is working on the front and aft sections of the Eagle. These are the cages there that I hollowed out in the last video. And just to finish up here, I am installing one other thing. So let me first draw your attention to the Product Enterprise Eagle again here. This is what I'm using as my guide. And as you can see, the entire section is hollowed out, including the top portion here. Now I decided not to hollow out that in the MPC model because I didn't think it would hold together very well. So in order to simulate this detailing here, what I'm doing is I'm painting, first of all, or at least I painted, I should say, the sections in between the bars here with a light gray. And then you can see there is another bar that goes from front to back here, and I'm simulating that by installing these plastic rods right here. The plastic rod is made of this semicircular rod here that I got from the hobby store, and I'm just sizing them out and gluing them into place. And you can see this module is already done. So once completed, I'm then going to insert the interior detailing that I made in the last video, and then we'll move on to the rest of the ship. Moving on to the landing pads now, let me show you what I'm going to do here. The model kit is missing this one fixture here. It's kind of an elbow type fixture that connects along the main rod that holds the landing pad to the landing pod. And that's what bends as the model lands, and it gives us the perception of weight. So let me show you what I'm using to create that little fixture there. I'm using two things. One are these half-round styrene rods here. They measure 1 millimeter in width, along with these round rods that measure 2 millimeters in width. So it's pretty simple. I'm just cutting out the pieces here to create that elbow fixture, and then at the connection here at the corner, or at the tip, I am adding a slice of this round rod there to create a joint. And you can see just by adding or attaching that little fixture, it adds just a little more detail to the kit. Well, before moving on to the engines, I decided to work on the command module. And I actually do plan to at least attempt to light this model. I'm not sure this is going to work out, but we'll see how it goes. So this is what I plan to do. First of all, when I light blocked the interior, what I did was I used liquid mask here to mask off the windows. And I applied liquid mask both on the interior and the exterior. And the reason I didn't cut out the windows is because I don't want the windows to look like headlights. I want some light diffusion there, so I'm going to take advantage of the white plastic. And hopefully it'll be enough to shine through. In fact, I've already tested it. It looks like it's going to glow pretty well. And the difficulty, though, is that I want to have this all self-contained. I don't want to have to hook it up to a stand or anything with a pole reaching through the model so that we can hook a light switch to. So this is what I intend to do here. So I have this coin battery here that's been hooked up to a light switch, and I've shortened up the wires there so that we can hopefully fit it all into this front module here. And I'm going to access the light switch either by making the command module removable, or by just not gluing the door in place, that's this section here, and just pulling it off and turning on the light switch when I need to. So that won't be very convenient to do that, but I don't plan to, have the model lit all the time. So I don't know. We'll see how it works out, and I'll keep you apprised here as I go along. Now I have to go ahead and paint the exterior of the command module. Well, actually, I'm going to put it together and work on the seams, and then paint it, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so what we have here now are the tanks that connect to the engine, exhaust bells, and of course the rear section of the ship. And this particular section is missing some details here. I've added already some surface detailing, and I used a 2.5 millimeter half-round rod for this section, and a 1.0 half-round rod for this connection here. And I added that to this piece here, the two sides, and then the bottom piece. So there were 4 sections altogether that I had to add that detailing. Now the other thing that's missing here is a pipe that runs from this round section here straight on down through to the bottom. And what I'm doing to create that is using a 1 millimeter round rod here. I should say 1.6 millimeter, excuse me. And you can see I'm already making them. And it's just a matter of cutting them, and then I'm just using a candle to create some heat so that I could make this elbow bend here and here. So I'm almost done, and I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes to accommodate them, and I'll show you when it's done. So here is the product Enterprise Eagle, and you can see this is what I'm going for. You can see the surface detail here that I pointed out a little earlier, but these are the pipes in particular that I was talking about. So I've drilled the holes and placed the pipes into position, and you can see this is the finished product here. So now I'm going to just glue them into place, and then we'll move on. So here we have now the passenger module, and I'm going to be detailing it with the red stripes here to make it a medical eagle. So to do this, I use Tamiya masking tape. It's very thin tape here that is able to get into these little nooks here, and hopefully will avoid any bleeding and come out with some sharp lines. Along the edges here, I used liquid mask just to prevent any possible bleeding of paint on this side here. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these stripes here, and I'll show you when it's done. Alright guys, so here we now have the completed pod, and you can see that the Tamiya masking tape worked real well to give us some clean lines, and the liquid mask was helpful for keeping the paint from bleeding off to these sections here. Now you can see there is some detailing here, and this actually comes with the decal sheet. So what's cool is they provided a facsimile of the door as well as these side detailings here, but they printed the decal in a way that they actually used some shading, and this gives us a 3D effect. So they provided a decal for this side as well as the opposite. Now I did not pay attention to these seams here because I really didn't realize they even had these decals on a sheet until I was putting this together. So I decided just to kind of leave it at that. You're not going to really see this very much anyway, so I'm not going to address that. Decal sheet also comes with black windows, by the way, and so that means you no longer have to fill those in with paint. Now I did come across a critique about this model kit, in particular the decal sheet, that they were difficult to work with, and I can tell you I have not had any issues at all with my decal sheet. So maybe that guy just had a bad batch, but I can tell you they've been pretty straightforward to work with. Alright, so I'm actually going to end this video here because it's going to be too long and drawn out if I go any further. So we'll pick up then with some other detailing I want to do to the surface of the model. This will include some paneling and some shading, and then we'll find out if the lighting is going to work, and then we'll do final assembly. So if you have any questions about any of the modifications I've made here in this video, of course you can always contact me, and as always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.